Well, people here legally apparently aren't just immune from being deported. They're also immune from prosecution for identity theft and the crime of using false documents. According to a Treasury Department report from 2011 to 2016, the IRS detected 1.3 million cases of identity theft perpetrated by illegal aliens, but they couldn't cite a single case that was referred for prosecution, not one. Huh! Terry Jeffrey is editor-in-chief of CNSnews.com that broke that story, and he joins us tonight. Terry, I'm confused because after 9/11, I remember vividly a bunch of the hijackers of the 19 were using fake documents. And Congress passed laws that really penalized anybody who committed identity theft or used fake federal documents. And here you have millions of people doing it, and none is prosecuted?
And the IRS knows all about it. There's no doubt. It is a felony to falsely use someone else's Social Security number or to make up a Social Security number. And what we have here, Tucker, is a long-term policy, I believe, by the IRS simply to ignore it because they want the tax money paid by people. Back in 1996, the IRS issued something they called an Individual Taxpayer Identification Number. It goes by the acronym ITIN.
Yeah.
And in 1999, the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration, who oversees the IRS, called it a policy by the IRS to legalize illegal aliens. That's what the Inspector General called it 19 years ago. But what we see now, according to the Inspector General, is that between 2011 and 2016, 1.3 million taxpayers who were legitimately paying their taxes, who had Social Security numbers that belonged to them, the IRS actually marked their taxpayer accounts because they're victims of identity theft by people the IRS had issued ITINs to. Now, what we know about someone who has an ITIN who's working in the United States is they are by definition an illegal alien. You cannot get an ITIN unless you're a foreign national, and you have to prove it to the IRS. And you also can't get one if you're eligible to have a Social Security number and work in the United States. So the IRS even has conceded to the Inspector General in the past that the aliens who have ITINs and then file tax returns with W-2s because they were working in the United States were illegal aliens.
So I've wondered this for a long time. You've got 11 million, probably more, illegal aliens in the United States. The majority of them are working. In fact, we're told that they're doing irreplaceable work. By definition, if you're here illegally and working, you're using fake federal documents. By definition.
Yeah, there is.
But why is that not a threat to our national security?
Well, it is. There's no doubt about it. And as you said, I mean, if you go back, there was a staff report actually done by the 9/11 Commission, where they talked about the how, in fact, the people who were involved in the 9/11 attack exploited some of the things that illegal aliens do to create an identity in the United States in order to create an identity for themselves. But there is a little bit of a black market where illegal aliens are working in the United States. They're getting paid under the table.
Of course they are. That's right. I mean, if you go pick them up the back of a truck in the Walmart parking lot, for sure.
Right.
There's 11 million people.
Yes.
So I think it's fair to say that millions of them, and we know that because they're working in chicken plants and hog farms, and you know what I mean?
Yes.
They're working for legitimate employers. So does this mean, and no one's doing anything about it, so
yes.
Can I use fake federal documents?
No, you'd be committing a felony, and I think they'd go after Tucker Carlson. You're right, Tucker. There's actually two groups here. There's this group that have these ITINs where they've actually gone to the IRS. They've proven I'm an alien. I'm not eligible for a Social Security number. Give me the ITIN. And then go out and work using someone else's Social Security number. That's these cases that the Inspector General talked about. But there's another case, and the Social Security Administration has what they call the earnings suspense file. These are W-2s that are filed with the IRS and Social Security Administration by an employer where the name doesn't match the Social Security number, and after investigation, the Social Security Administration cannot figure out who this was filed on behalf of. They've known for years most of them are filed on behalf of illegal aliens who are using either fake or stolen Social Security numbers. That, too, is a felony, and the IRS and the Social Security Administration knows the employers that are filing massive numbers of those.
It's unbelievable.
And they let them get away with it.
But I'm not allowed to have a fake passport.
No.
No, I'm not. Okay. Terry, thank you for that. I think it's a really interesting story that nobody ever talks about, and I hope we'll keep doing it. Thank you.
Tucker.
Well, a serial bomber is terrorizing Houston. How great is the danger? Can it be stopped? We've got details next.